Hey guys, hope everything's going well. You guys know that drill. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below. Follow me on Instagram at AIH_sports. Follow me on my finance channel at AIH Finance. So, I've been looking at a few channels, and this is not anyways, I'm not trying to bash them in this video, okay? This is just me observing and look at some of the mistakes I've made in the past and what I've learned from those mistakes. So I try not to, do that. Anyways, I was watching Jeff Wilson. Now he follows me on Instagram. I find that quite interesting. His tone, just observing from an unbiased perspective, like a year over year change, he was very aggressive. And now he's, in my opinion, being more objective, and he is saying, hey, let's be cautious here. And as the market has been turning down, and other asset classes as well. Great Curator, I saw on his story. I had to go, through hula hoops because I'm blocked on his IG. Anyways, he had his story saying that, hey, anything above a 10% return, that's hard to get, he was basically saying. And anything that's over 10% return that's promised, you got to be careful for when investing in that. That's what he's trying to get at. And I'm thinking out loud, wait a second. He was very, very, very bullish on particular assets. And now he's being very cautious. And actually, I agree with what he's saying here. He's saying, hey, anything above 10% return, you got to be cautious, right? And that's what they said in the past for collectibles. Like a 10 to 20% increase was the norm, unless it was a top-notch player, then okay, that would see a higher appreciation of the asset price year over year. But just a typical card, somewhat high in demand, you're expecting 10 to 20% a year. So I actually agree with what Dan is talking about, but now, like I'm saying, I'm just thinking, wait, while I was saying, hey, look, the Federal Reserve is going to be raising interest rates, and thus, there's going to be some issues. That was my whole premise for the past, year or so, going through my videos. Because in 2020, when I wasn't on YouTube, I was very bullish because I saw the Fed printing money like crazy. And now, they raise interest rates, and then everything is pretty much tanked. But that being said, when I'm seeing people that were once very bullish, and I'm just observing from an unbiased point of view, very bullish and now turning positive, not positive, but turning more cautious, I'm thinking, wait, could there be an opportunity here? Because what I've made mistakes in the past when I was way on the wrong side of the trade for years. Let's say I was very bearish on equities, and then I all of a sudden turned bullish, and the stocks crashed. This was way back when, maybe like 6-7 years ago. And when I was bullish on a particular asset, and then I hey, after years, I'm like, hey, I better be short. Well, guess what? I turned negative on that asset at the wrong period of time. So I made my mistakes. Now I try to understand the fundamentals of, okay, why is this asset going to go down versus why this asset's going to go up? Now, I'm not going to be right on 100% of things, but the goal is to be more right than wrong. And once again, I always say, hey, look at the Fed, right? From a fundamental point of view, fundamental analysis. So I'm seeing one of the Fed chairmen, Bullard. He is, I think, in St. Louis, if I remember correctly. I think you could say some part of America that's a little more conservative than other parts. And then with monetary policy, they're a little more conservative than, let's say, Chicago, New York, etc. And if he's saying that, hey, if inflation tones down a bit, we're probably going to be wanting lower interest rates, okay? So if he's saying that in St. Louis, what's everyone else going to say in America, right? All these guys. They're going to want to cut rates, all these Fed chairmen. And I'm just thinking, hey, look, 2018 to 2020 pre-pandemic, they're lowering interest rates. Collectibles went up. They printed ridiculous amounts of money after the short recession in 2020, and collectibles went up, right? And then they did that in 2009. They had a gradual increase of collectibles. And then I'm thinking, look, if they do cut rates, right? The Fed's the biggest pumper, right? They cut rates. What should that do to collectibles? It should go up, right? Doesn't mean that it's going to happen today, but I'm just looking at it, hey, maybe few months from now, maybe 6 months from now, whatever that time is. But I want to get in before all of this hot money comes in. So what I'm trying to do right now from a strategic standpoint is, sell some of these, you could say junk slabs that I have, and some of these modern cards. Get whatever I can, and then try to spend less money on some of these scarcer Jordan cards. I'm looking at some Gretzky cards, like I've stated. Looking at some Mays cards, but not on the high end. But like Michael Jordan has a bunch of scarce cards from the 80s. And even if, the whole system comes tumbling down, people are still going to buy Jordan cards. Right? So that's my strategy. But whenever I see people that were once very bullish and now turning the other way, I'm thinking to myself, hey, could this be at least a short-term bottom, right? Because I've made the same mistake myself. So it's not me picking on them. This is just me, I've learned from experience, right? And I'm looking at some fundamentals. Before I was like, hey, it's crashing, it's going to crash, it's going to crash. And I'm like, okay, a lot of people, their sentiment has changed. So could be a short-term bottom, just looking at this. But anyways, guys, what do you think about all this? I like looking at sentiment. I like looking and observing a lot of people. I comment on a lot of people's videos. Doesn't mean I agree with you, right? I do observe, and that's how I learn. It's not, just me listening to people that think like me, because I don't think you learn that way. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think about this. Remember to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below, guys. Thank you. Bye.